Hey guys, how you doing? Scabba Gaming here, and welcome to something a little bit different today. I'm not doing a vlog. This is a review. Now, I've never really done a review before, so bear with me. I might have to read off stuff because I made loads of notes. But the great guys at VRCover sent me some cool stuff for my HTC Vive. You can see it here on the bed. I've got the Vive with me. Ignore the tape on the bottom. That's for my my pop filter. Now, the guys at VRCover, basically, they do some really cool stuff to sort of add to or replace this foam bit that you see here on the Vive. That's the bit that kind of connects to your face and makes you look like this. Now, the foam that comes with the Vive is pretty good. It's not terrible. It's very, very comfortable, but it does kind of absorb sweat, and over a very short period of time, like only maybe a couple of months, it gets really dirty and it's hard to clean. You kind of have to wipe it down and leave it to dry, and it's just really inconvenient. So, guys at VRCover, nice enough to send me some really cool things. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is the VR cotton cover. Now, it comes in a cool little bag, which is the same material as the cover itself, and it comes with one of these cool little screen wipes as well for your lenses. I think it's pretty sweet. Now, what you get in here, take it out, put those to one side. What you get in here is two covers, which is pretty cool. They're both fabric, and that's not like top and bottom, that's just one cover. Now, the idea of these is that they fit directly over the Vive. It's kind of hard to show you while I'm doing it because I need two hands, but quite simply, it just hooks over the top, like so, once you get the straps out of the way, and wraps round, like so. So it's kind of covering the foam entirely, so any contact point with your skin. And then it's got these cool little Velcro tabs that you can see here. They're very, very small. There's 4 of them that go around the outside of the cover. And what that does is it just loops underneath the foam. So if I whack it on for you so you can see how it fits, because they're actually surprisingly good. Now, they fit really well against the original foam, which is what they're designed for. They're really comfortable, but let me just show you. As long as you've had a little bit of practice, you can actually get them on pretty quick, and they're a really good fit. Right, so there we go. That's it fitted. It took like 10 seconds to get that on, and they're a really good fit actually. You can fiddle about with it a bit more and get an absolute perfect fit, but once you actually get the headset on, I'm going to whack it on just so I can look stupid for you. That's actually really, really comfortable compared to the original foam. And all this does basically is it sits between your foam and your skin and allows you to have a more comfortable and machine washable surface, which is fantastic. Let me just go through my bullet points. They're comfortable. They're for personal use really, because in all honesty, the thing that it's trying to combat is hygiene issues. So if you sweat into this, much like the foam, it's going to soak in, and when the next person puts it on their face, they're going to get you sweat. They're machine washable. They're best for hygiene reasons. It fits over the original pads. They're handmade, so they're really, really top quality, and you get lens clearer as well, which is fantastic. Now, I've used this for a very short amount of time because it's not my personal preference, but there are a couple of bad points with them, which I want to cover as well as the good points. Now, the first one is it doesn't fit over the pads that come from VRCover, and you'll see why later, but I think they need to do something with that, and I'll explain a little bit later when I get to the pads. You can't combine the memory foam pads that they do with them, so that's kind of where I'm going to go with that anyway. And the only other bad thing that I can think of is that due to the slight add of depth, if you already suffer from light bleed through the nose, it's going to increase that slightly, because there's nothing in there to stop light bleed coming through, which is completely what you'd expect. But obviously if you already get that, the added 1 to 2 millimeters of depth around that area is going to push your nose further back and cause more light bleed. I did suffer from that slightly, although not enough to really worry about that much, because I already have a slight bit of nosebleed because I have quite a narrow nose. You can see it's very unsightly. Right, so moving on, I want to show you something else. Let's go to the waterproof covers. These are pretty much the exact same thing as the cotton covers, but these are the waterproof versions. Now, they come in the same little see-through bag. They come with the same little lens wipe that you get with it. And again, you get 2 waterproof covers, but you don't get the little cotton bag for these because it's not the same material. So I'll put one to one side. So you get instead this sort of PU leather, as they call it, which is kind of like a, I don't know if that means it's real leather or fake leather. I actually genuinely don't know, but it's like a leather material, a leatherette material. It's really, really nice, and it's super, super fine, so it's really comfortable against your skin, and it's completely waterproof, which is kind of the point of these ones. You can't sweat into them, so these are ideal for, let's think about it, they're wipe clean completely, so you just get a bit of like tissue or something, just wipe it clean. So it's great for passing headsets around. If you're like me and you have a small family and you pass headset between sort of levels. Let me think of it, like for instance, the Nvidia party games at the fun fair. You might go through the party games, try and get a really high score, and then you'll just pass it over to the next person who's waiting. And if you sweat into it, which you will do on those sorts of things, this sort of thing just allows you to wipe it clean and then pass it to the next person. And we did that the other night. We played a little bit of party games and it was fantastic. None of the foam underneath got any sort of contact with the sweat at all, which is ideal. It fits over the original foam pads again, but not the replacement pads, which I'll show you in a minute. Again, you'll see why that's not really a big problem. It's good for parties and it's good for sort of show floor as well, which is exactly what they're designed for. So bad parts don't fit over replacement pads, and again they will increase light bleed if that's what you already suffer from. But again, if you already suffer from it, chances are that you're not going to see much difference. And the only other bad side I can think of the waterproof covers is that if you sweat a lot into it, the drawback is that it can stick to your face. So when you pull it off, it feels like you're peeling it away a little bit. It's not that bad, obviously, and if you're sweaty, then you're going to want to wipe your face anyway. It's just a thing with VR. If it's sweaty, you're sweaty. It fits in the exact same way, and they do look ultra cool when they're on because it's a really cool shiny sort of black effect. So it does give that sort of better look to the headset as well. So we'll move on now. Let's go for the memory foam replacement pads. Now these are kind of my favourite actually, because I find the leather material used in this is actually really, really cool, and it's really comfortable against your skin. Now they've sent me a set of 6mm waterproof memory foam pads. Now these I think are where people should be going straight to. I'll explain. These are super comfortable, even at 6mm. Now they also sent me these badasses, which are 18mm memory foam pads. You get 2 in each of these packs. So an 18mm you get 2 of, and in 6mm you get 2 of. So, you know, if you want to rip one off because it's getting a bit tired, put another one on there, and then you can sort of maybe wax it up or treat it or whatever you need to do to keep them sort of as good as new and not worry about it being on your face straight afterwards. They're just Velcro backed. So you can just rip off the old pad, which is very easy to come off. Cover comes off with it, obviously, and then just whack on these pads. I'll put on the thicker one first. It's really easy to put on because obviously it's just Velcro backed. All you need to do is just gently push it into place, make sure that you've got it in position, and there you're done. How cool do they look? That looks like such a professional finish compared to the original foam, and against your face they feel so cool and fresh, and that's really nice because the leather material, as well as being waterproof and breathable, and you can see there's sort of like an Airtex material to it, it's very airy. They do still sweat up, but then you get sweaty anyway with the original pads, and these just allow you to wipe clean. They're exactly the same as the covers, but with the memory foam they're so much more comfortable. It's really, really sort of squishy, and it sort of stays in that shape and supports, and I think it's, even with the 6mm, it's really, really comfortable. Now, one thing that I want to mention with these, I like the 18mm for comfort. It's really, really comfortable. And the 6mm is really, really comfortable as well. But I use the 6mm simply because when I used it as a personal thing, I felt that it increased my field of view inside the helmet, which was a complete shock to me. It's completely new. I was like, this is weird. But my eyes were so much closer to the lenses, and I felt like I could see up and down much more clearly. Not so much side to side. The field of view there is already quite limited on all the headsets really, but up and down field of view, you get an increased field of view with the Vive over the Oculus, which is not something many people actually notice, but you do. You get a slight increase in field of view up and down, vertical field of view. And with this 6mm pad, I found that it increased further. Now, you know, like I say, that might be personal experience. It may not be the case for other people. It depends on the shape of your face and how it fits and so forth. And what you will also find that if you wear glasses, the 6mm pad is probably going to increase chance of your glass hitting the lens. So you probably want to avoid the 6mm pad if you're a glasses wearer, because my girlfriend wears glasses, and with the 6mm pad, she definitely would have had to have taken them off, because you will find, even with the original thick pads on the HTC Vive, that glasses may touch the lenses and the lenses get slightly scratched, as what's happened with ours, even though you don't notice it because you're way too close to the lens for it to have any effect. It's an increased risk with the 6mm, I will say that. I like these, but the reason why I thought that the covers should work with them is because with the 18mm pads, the added comfort of the memory foam is enough that I would want to use it on an everyday basis with a cotton cover. And you can't. The cotton covers don't fit them because they have a longer, this pad at the bottom here. In fact, this would be easier if I show you this. This nose pad at the bottom here is longer than the traditional pad. So if they're in the same shape, it sticks out the bottom. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but the pad here on the memory foam one is longer. So the cover itself doesn't cover those parts. So it kind of comes across your face and it creates a slight ridge. It still fits, but not as well. So that's an issue for me, only because I want to use the 18mm memory foam pad with a cotton cover for comfort, so I don't get that sticky, sort of sweaty feeling when I use the waterproof covers. Now, I think personally that they should make one that fits their own gel pad, so that you can have this waterproof 18mm cover and then add a cotton cover over the top for when you're using it, or the new velour cover, which I haven't got yet, which they said they may be sending me. If they do, I'll do a separate review for that. But you can add one of those covers over the top, and then when people come over and you want to use the Vive in like a party or with your family, you can take that off and then just use it as like the waterproof cover. So it's not as comfortable for everyone, but it means that no one gets that sweaty effect. And I think that is a little bit of an oversight. But honestly, you can't expect them to have a cover for every single scenario in the world. I think they've done really well with the covers that they have. I am a big fan of the 6mm. It's because of the field of view, and because it reduces light creep. But honestly, that's just personal preference. You guys can decide which ones you want. The 18mm are really, really, really comfortable, like a cushion on your face. They're amazing. So I just want to talk about this case very, very quickly. It's designed for the Samsung Gear VR. They sent me one just because they put some stuff in it and then shipped it. But actually, it has a really good use for the Vive. Now, it's a really sturdy little case. It's got really good zips on it, really high quality. The handle is well made. It's not heavy, so it's lightweight, but it's pretty hard. If anyone's had a pair of Oakleys, you'll know what this sort of hard case cover comes like. It's got a little pocket on the inside with a really tough Velcro closure, which I know is hard to see on there, but you can put some like, I don't know, lens wipes or maybe another cover in there, or even some pads if you really want to, if you're taking your Vive around a friend's house. But look how well the controllers fit in there. They're so perfectly made for this case. You can actually get it to sit like that. One upside down and one perfectly on top. And when you close the case, they don't move at all. It's such a good case for the controllers. So guys, if you wanted a case for your controllers, and this is absolutely ideal. And I don't think that was kind of what it was intended for, but I just wanted to sort of point out that you could do that. Now, price-wise, you're looking at between about $20 to $30 for each one of these packs, which in my eyes is probably a little bit steep for my personal preference of how much I would spend on a cover. But you know, that's completely personal. And now that I've got one, I don't feel like I would go back. This old foam cover that comes with it, you get two of these with the Vive, one for narrow and one for wide face. They're not very good. They're really not. But you make do because that's what came with it. But honestly, now that I've tried these memory foam ones, the amount of comfort and for the hygiene reasons, I wouldn't go back. Now, there's only one bad point that I would point out with these, other than the fact that they stick to your face when they get sweaty, which is just one of those things. I had an issue with one ripping. Now, before you go, oh God, it ripped, there must be shit. That is not the case at all. I contacted VRCover about it, and they said that they'd come across only 4 examples of this happening. Now, I honestly believe that it was my fault, and that's God honest truth. I'm not sticking up for them. When removing the cover, I did this, and I slipped off this, and I think I put too much pressure on the actual leverette, and I pulled it away. Which I know it kind of makes it seem like it's more delicate than it is, but I feel like I need to tell you guys about it anyway, because it was a simple mistake, and it didn't really stand up to it. But that said, as long as you're making sure that you take it away from the Velcro itself and not pulling on this lever, I think you'll be absolutely fine. And like I say, they've had really, like, hardly any issues with it. But the direct response from them was, if anyone was to have this issue, they would only have to contact support@vrcover.com with a picture, and they would replace it free of charge. So I can't fault them for that. They've been absolutely brilliant. Really nice guys, and you know, they were willing to send these out free of charge to me just so that you guys could get a better look at what they were like, and they're replacing that free of charge even though I didn't pay for it, which in all honesty, that's just amazing service. And they're also sending out the velour cover as well, which I will do another review for you guys when that arrives, because honestly I think these are kind of something you should have if you have a HMD, a head-mounted display. That's VR talk. Now, they do stuff for the Vive, but they also do stuff for the Oculus Rift and Samsung Gear VR. They've got loads of covers available. And honestly, I think you should go and check them out. Their website is going to be linked in the video description below. If you guys have any questions about them, then sure to let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, even if that means I have to contact VRCover directly. They're sort of easy to contact, and they'll answer any questions that you guys have as well. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the VR covers. I'm going to do a sort of long-term review later on, maybe in like a few months when I've had more use out of the head unit. Now that it's been repaired, I should be able to get some more VR on the channel next week, and I'll be using these covers, so I may make comments about them during those videos. I don't know yet. Let's just see if they impress me. I mean, to be honest, if they impress me, then I probably won't notice they're there, so I've not mentioned them. But like I said, in a couple of months, I'll do a more extended review on how they're holding up, and I'll let you guys know. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.